Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. Today we are going to see important class ethics. In this ethics, we'll be discussing the basic concept and basic understanding of certain terms. Fine, next. And we are going to crack it with India's largest learning platform, and that's Unacademy. Why I call it as India's largest learning platform is that I have daily classes. We have daily classes here, and then there is a proper structured course, and then live test and quizzes are available. Unlimited access is there, and then you can download this Unacademy through both Google Play and Apple Store. So this app will help you learn many things. Okay, so yes. And classes for you, I offer two classes on the YouTube. One is for polity and other is for ethics. And there are special classes where we have quick revision. Along with this, now I am starting to concentrate on most important topic, most controversial topics, which you might miss some important points. All these things we'll be discussing. Along with that, I'm going to start from tomorrow uh, MCQs. Okay, it's like mock tests. Since the prelims is very much closer, we are going to start with mock tests from tomorrow. So you follow me in my Unacademy platform where you can get more information, and definitely I'll be posting you the links of classes in the groups I have given you, the link, Telegram link I have given you. And you're going to prepare for UPSC exam with India's largest, with top educators, 100 educators you have, and they're all very much, they're all very much experienced in terms of UPSC classes. And we have a comprehensive syllabus, and this syllabus is planned accordingly. These courses are structured accordingly that you have a proper understanding of how UPSC works. Then this is subscription details. Please look at the subscription details, use it accordingly. And when you get subscription, you can use my code SUBA where you get a 10% of discount. And there is Plus and Iconic. So I have told you what is the good things about Plus and Iconic. So Plus and Iconic have their own advantages, because in Plus you have specifically what is that is called as, in Plus you have this concept of personal coach. So personal coach will help you, even more efficient preparation process. And this is my special class. I told you it's in the Unacademy platform. It's free. See guys, keep it in mind, it's free. Don't think it's in the Unacademy platform, ma'am. How can I attend? It's completely free. Just download the app, come to my profile where you will be having the classes. Just watch them, make use of them. Fine, it's all free. Those classes are. And going into the class, ethics and human interface. So, what is this, ma'am? Ethics and human interface. We'll be seeing basic concept of ethics, and that too in the concept of human interface. Okay, in human life, how ethics is very important, we'll be seeing that. First is we should know what is ethics. Many people don't have a proper idea about what is ethics. Everybody think ethics is something related to, what we should do, what we should not do, something like, it's like philosophy, and then it's like advice, some rules and regulations. Some people think rules and regulations. Ethics is not what you think like that. Okay, it's a combination, and every word you are using is having different meaning. So we are going to see that today. Ethics is it's a branch of philosophy known as moral philosophy. Okay, why moral philosophy is that ethics speaks about what you can do and not to do, so that you will have a good life. Okay, you will have a positive life. That is called as ethics. So ethics come from the Greek word ethos, meaning custom or habit, and morality is from the Latin word moralitas, which is manner or right behavior. So usually morality, we say that morality means doing something right. Right behavior, positive behavior is called as morality. Fine. So ethics of our decisions and actions is defined by society and not individually. You can ask me, ma'am, what is morals, what is ethics? What is the difference, basic difference with morals and ethics is that? So you can see this. Ethics is equal to moral plus reasoning. That is, moral in general says do's and don'ts. But ethics also says do's and don'ts, but with reasoning, with proof. Okay, that is called as ethics. So with proof, if you have some do's and don'ts, why the result, you ask question and you get answer, why I should not do this, you get a result. Generally, in terms of in house and all, people will say, I mean, the family will say, don't do this. If you ask why, sometimes they don't have answer. But for ethics, you have an answer why I should not do this. If there is any question, ethics in ethics, integrity is one important concept. Integrity means staying honestly in all your actions in terms of speech, thought, and action is called as integrity. Why should be in integrity? I should be a person of integrity means you will always be honest. So what will happen is that you will walk in the right path without disturbing others, knowing or unknowingly. Sometimes you can ask me, we all know very famous these Robin Hood movies, and then we are very famous, we are all very used to the movies in which they show it's really okay to do some mistakes, it's really okay to commit some crimes so that you can do help to others. Okay, some movies and some series, some stories give us a wrong moral saying if you do a crime and if you do good thing to people it will be okay. But if you are a person of integrity in every time, you will not do any mistake at all. At the same time, you will not affect others knowingly and unknowingly. The reason here, that reasoning is making that integrity more than morality, it is making it ethics. So in usually ethics is defined by the society. Okay, the society you live in, it's given as a discipline that examines one's moral standard. It's like a standard. For example, using this ethics, I can measure are you a good person or not. If you have ethics, that's why I told you he is a person of ethical conscience. I will tell someone else that bureaucrat never do unethical things. He's always ethical. He follows ethics properly. So this kind of what ethics is majorly used. First thing is to measure someone's moral standards is called as ethics. So this is the difference between ethics and morals, which is ethics is equal to morals plus reasoning. Ethics is equal to morals plus reasoning. Fine. Next. So what is the difference, ma'am? Yeah, this I understood, but what is the difference is that reasoning is involved, what is described. So sometimes what happens in childhood, parent will tell a story to a child and the child will just accept. The child will accept, okay, I should not do this. So what happens? That's a morality or morals. But ethics means I am taking you class now. I'm giving you the proof. I'm giving you some incidents, real time incidents, and I'm finding one standard which is good for almost everyone. Okay, so that comes under the concept of ethics. And ethics, you cannot bring ethics into rules. And one more thing is rules, laws, it's beyond rules and laws. Sometimes ethics is not mentioned in the constitution. Sometimes ethics is not mentioned in the rules and regulations. There is no, if see, one of the important ethics is compassion. Compassion means you help others. You don't just feel sympathy to others, you go and help others is called as compassion. But compassion, do you think compassion is mentioned in the constitution as fundamental duty or fundamental right? Or no, compassion is ethics, every person should have in their own mind. Okay, so this compassion is one of the important foundational value for civil services. We'll be seeing that in classes. But for morals, you have hard and fast rules. Okay, we say morality. For example, praying God. Praying God is considered as morality in many religion. You have hard and fast rule. You should not eat non-veg on these days. You should not enter into temple if you consume non-veg, or something like you cannot talk bad about God. And most importantly, when there is prasad made, you cannot eat that prasad without giving to God. You have rules and regulations when you come to this morals. But ethics is beyond rules, beyond laws. And next is ethics is usually considered universal. So in the last class I told you, ethics is almost same in every culture and every society. But morals is relatively changing. So just now I told you, let's take this, consuming non-veg itself as one of the morals. In one religion, religion one, They say consumption of non-veg is a sin. Religion too, they give non-veg itself as one of the offering to God. So you cannot say that morals are same in every religion, but ethics are same in almost every religion. No culture or no religion or no country will say compassion is wrong. Every country compassion is an ethics, but morality, morals change from people to people, change from country to country, change from culture to culture. Even consumption of alcohol in one country, it's considered to be a very bad. It's considered to be immoral, but in some countries it's very normal. But if you ask me, consumption of alcohol is bad to health. Fine. Next is for the survival of society. For ethics is very much important for the survival of society. Why, ma'am? I told you man is a social animal. Social animal means man always stays in some kind of group. Okay, first starts family, then you go to schools. There also you are with some group. You go to workplace. We have communities named as religion. We have caste. Okay, some people have class based groupings. So man is a social animal. Even though we are in groups, we are always mingled with each other. We have ethics. This ethics is actually making this social animal peaceful. If there is no ethics, this social animal will become more aggressive. And here the social animal is nothing but man. The social animal will become very aggressive and start breaking these groups, breaking these society, which will result in the end of the social animal itself. Okay, that is a simple thing. Just imagine if people do not have the ethics of compassion. Leave compassion. Just think about if people do not have ethics that you should not steal from others. If it is okay to steal from others, what will happen? Nobody's hard work will have value. Everybody can steal from everybody else, and today we would not have been developed to this situation. We have technology before us. How this technology came? Because of someone's hard work. Okay, so I'm taking class, you're listening to class, because we are all peaceful in nature. The most and important thing is ethics. Okay, before the governments came, before the constitutions came, before everything came, ethics came. Ethics started making people more calm, peaceful, and it gave people way to think. That's something very important about ethics. Fine, ma'am, should I always think about ethics? What is this? But there are something else which is added in ethics. We'll see that also. Interesting concepts here. So, before going to all these concepts, I just want to remind you one more thing. It is a mains paper. It's not like prelims paper. So, what is the difference between prelims paper and mains paper? I'll tell you. In preliminary exam, you need more datas. Okay, concepts and datas. But when you come to mains, concepts are very important. You're going to decorate these concepts with datas. Okay, you write the answer and spray the datas, you get very good marks. For that you should understand the concept. For that you should listen to the classes very carefully. Fine. If any doubt, you can ask me in the live chat. I'm like having this live chat on my side. I will definitely answer you. Fine. Why I took this class today is, without understanding these terminologies, in future my classes will sound same to you, because everything has different meanings for them. So coming to definition of ethics, I told you always use any authenticated source when you are studying. So definition of ethics, here I have taken from two important dictionaries, Oxford Dictionary and Webster Dictionary. So what is this Oxford Dictionary saying about ethics? Yes, a set of moral principles, especially ones relating to or affirming a specified group, field, or form of conduct. See, ethics simply means it is a measuring standard. Ethics is a measuring standard which says if a group or a field or a form of conduct is right or not. Simple. This is the Oxford Dictionary's explanation. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, ethics refers to the discipline that deals with what is good and bad. with moral duty and obligations. Very simple. Okay. So I'll give you one important tip whenever when you're writing a definition, how a definition should be. Okay. So generally this is not just for ethics. I'm giving you I'm giving you definitions of definitions. I'm giving you, definition of definitions. A definition should be wholesome. What is wholesome? What you are trying to tell, every meaning, every content, what you are trying to tell should be in that definition. Number one, definition should be short and effective. Short and effective. It should not be like, one definition should not be for entire page. A definition should be short and effective. Third, definition should be unquestionable. What does it unquestionable means? So if I'm giving you a definition, you should accept, yes, this definition is right, and this definition is giving me the entire meaning of what I like to define. That's unquestionable. Okay, it should not have any doubts in that. It should be the definition should be unquestionable, short and effective, and wholesome. So usually you can use definitions from sources, or you can make your definition, but make sure that the definitions you created satisfy these criteria. See, since we are having class for mains, I would like to, move the classes with more answer writing based instructions. So this is one important answer, because most of the introductions you will be writing using the definitions. Okay, introductions. For example, if I'm asking what is attitude, what are all the types of attitude, explain with suitable examples. If this is the question, starting itself is, I told you what, in my last previous class, we discussed about how you should approach a mains question. I gave you a structure of how you should be writing a mains question. In that introduction, I told you, and one more thing I told you, that's general introduction. Every question in all the GS paper, you will either start with definition or some data. Okay, so this suits for your optionals too. So when you are writing a definition, make sure your definition satisfy these criterias. Fine, very important concept. So in this context, just see this definition. This definition is giving proper data related to ethics. It's talking about what is ethics clearly. This is how your definition should be. You can use the same definition, or you can create your own definition, no issues. Fine. Next, human behavior. So human behavior, it's simple. What does human behavior is? Human behavior refers to the responses to stimuli. Okay, generally in science and technology, we have studied about stimuli. Stimuli are nothing but the some input, some kind of input to human body is called as stimuli. It can be anything. It can be sense of feeling, sense of smell, a light, and then taste. Anything can be a stimuli. Sometimes behavior of someone else can also be a stimuli. Okay, stimuli stimulates some response from human being. That's it. Simply stimuli stimulates some response from human being. So human behavior is a stimuli exhibited by humans, which are influenced by culture, attitudes, emotions, values, ethics, authority, rapport, hypnosis, persuasion, coercion. Ethics. Ma'am, what is this, ma'am? You are giving so much concept. Is it true? Yes, I will give you examples for all these things. How will culture influence a behavior? I'll give you one example. Usually, when you go to a metropolitan cities, or and then you're going to a village, in which place people are more helpful to each other? I'm expecting answer from you. You're going to a metropolitan city, you're going to a village. In which place people are more helpful? If you go and ask help, who will help you? A person from metropolitan city or person from village will help you? Fine. Usually, a person from village will help you comparatively to the metropolitan city, because the culture in the metropolitan city is like, yes, the culture in the metropolitan city is like they have their own work, they should take care of their own work, and they are scared to help others. What if we end in some problem? But in village, the culture it's different. They are, close to each other, they help each other. So this is the difference between metropolitan villages. And there is a saying like, in metropolitan cities the houses are very close but the hearts of the people are very far. But in villages the houses are far away from each other but the hearts are very close to each other. So now culture, it can be changed from country to country also. We know Canada. Okay, we know Canada because the people there are very gentle. Canada is very much famous for people to be very gentle to each other. Okay, so everybody love to go to Canada because the culture there is like that. Culture is a combination of language, food, dressing, everything. Attitudes, if you have positive attitude towards something, you have a different behavior. Negative attitude, you have a different behavior. For example, when you like some person, you tend to help that person more, but when you dislike that person, you don't help that person, you like to stay away from that person. Emotions, when you are angry, you behave like that. When you are very happy, you behave like that. That's why they say, don't take any decisions when you are angry, don't make any promises when you are happy. And value system. See, related to value system, what happens is that a person values money. One more person values people. Do you think these both people's behavior will be same? No, obviously not. A person who is valuing money will tend to more money even though he's compromising people. But the person who's valuing people will compromise money but will be happy when he makes people happy. So now do you understand how human behavior changes according to everything? So in this, ethics plays a major role. In this, ethics plays a major role. Without ethics, I already told you, the society will be in chaos. Okay, so that is the important concept related to ethics. Next, beliefs and values. So belief system and value system. See, and one more point I forgot. See, genetics also plays a major role in human behavior. So usually we say that, see, this person is exactly behaving like father. This person is exactly behaving like my mother, behaving like mother. So what happens, usually people when they say me, they tell me that you behave like your father, you look like your father. So genetics also plays a major role in your activities, in your behavior. Do you understand? So you will be, I believe that every one of you here are genetically good people by heart. Okay, so very interesting, right? Genetically good people. Yes, this is something we might not expect in your answer. If you write genetics also plays a major role, it's really good. Okay, I told you already, guys, when you are writing a mains answer should be 360-degree. So when you are writing ethics, also keep it in mind, you write it in the 360-degree format. When you write economics, when you write polity, when you write science and technology in ethics, your answer will be almost fantastic. Just imagine, everybody will be like writing the same human behavior, all these definitions they'll be writing, everything is fine. But I don't think everyone will be writing in a 360-degree approach of answer, but your answer should be in a 360-degree approach. You should write with polity, economics, environment, science and technology. Your answer will be really, really good. So what is this beliefs and values? So we'll go into this beliefs and value concept. Core faith. So before that, we should have something called as core faith. Have you ever watched a movie called as Inside Out? Has anyone watched this movie called as Inside Out? Anyone? Inside Out. Fine, I'll tell you a short story about Inside Out. Inside Out is a movie where it is portrayed, it's an animation that our emotions, our emotions have a form, human form, and they are inside our brain, and they operate our actions. In that place, what happens? There is something called as core memory. What is core memory is that in our childhood, in our life, there will be one incident there will be one incident which shapes our character. I'll give you one example. What happened once in my school, I took a seminar and everybody said very good. Okay, I gave a seminar, in my 8th standard, and everybody said very good. So later, in that year itself, that seminar was over, and I was like, okay, I forgot it. But later, what happened? The applause I got during my seminar actually made me believe that I'm a good teacher, and till today I'm teaching it. When I just sit and think, when I try to travel back, only I get this in my mind. But actually, core belief, core faith is something. There is there is something in your life that has happened that is shaping what you are, is called as core faith. Usually, this core faith is given through religion. Okay, at the young age, when when you start listening to religious stories, they say something, that stays in your mind. Even though that religious story goes out of your mind, you have that faith in your mind itself. That is called as core faith. Okay, so that is very important thing. Next is political beliefs. We know that political beliefs most common in community where we live. Okay, some people like one ideology, some people like another ideology, some people will be capitalist in nature, some people will be communist in nature. That is political beliefs. So see this, it's the repetition of affirmations that lead to a belief, and once that belief becomes a deep conviction, that begins to happen. So that is the thing. So you, first of all, I always tell in my class, you should start believing in yourself. First, you should start thinking that you can do. You should not question yourself always. You should question yourself, yes, but you should not question yourself always. You should start believing in yourself, then people will start believing in you when you are confident, and then what happens, what you want will automatically happen. Okay, so that is something very important. So we'll go to the next, beliefs. So I'll tell you a story. Okay. So what is that story is, uh, usually we have this we have this concept of saying Arjuna when it is lightning. Okay, when there is a thunder, we say say Arjuna. So I don't know if saying Arjuna will really help, but that belief system will actually calm us down. Okay, so there are so many stories like that, so many belief system we have, and there is so much belief system we don't have answers. Even the paranormal activities, the belief system related to paranormal activities, they're all so interested in watching these paranormal related movies. That's a belief system. That's all. There is no proof related to paranormal activities. Yeah, there are proof acclaimed, but in our life we don't have any proof. But that belief system is having, that belief system is actually having some things in our action. For example, you don't go in dark. Okay, you don't go in dark because you believe that maybe some paranormal activity might happen. But what is the reality? Being in dark is more vulnerable. You might get attacked by people, thief, or something might happen. You might fall down. So instead of saying you that, explaining you that, don't go into dark because you have all these issues, they say in darkness you have ghost. Okay, so what we do is, okay, fine, let's not go into the darkness. Maybe ghost is there. Okay, so that is how this belief system helps us in many situations. Okay, and when I watch all these movies, okay, they're all very funny, really related to ghost. So what do they say is, if you there'll be a ghost, in all these movies there'll be a ghost. If you switch on light, the ghost will not be there. If you switch off the light, the ghost will be there. Okay, so these kind of belief systems are actually, it is guiding us in very different path. Okay. Yes, see, yes, we do have previous year questions. At the end of every classes, I will be discussing the previous year questions related to the concept we have discussed. Okay, so at this end of the class, I do have previous year questions. Do not worry about this, because the key to success in terms of UPSC exam is previous year questions. I have always, I always agree to it. Yes, definitely, we are going to discuss previous year questions. Fine. So you can see this belief is two type: conscious thought. So you have conscious thought and dispositional belief. Conscious thought is, as of now you have a belief system. So it has active thoughts and core belief. So now you have some belief system, and core belief is it's very long back, it is very strong and restored. This positional belief sometimes keeps changing. It is not like, it keeps changing from time to time. It is also ascribed to others. According to people who are with, it keeps changing. And values, very important concept. We say that value system should be there, value system should be there, value added education. What does this value mean actually? It is simple. Value are, importance, value are those things that a person thinks it is very important or the person values the most. For example, for some people, money is important. For some people, education is important. For some people, beauty is important. For some people, success is important. For some people, helping others is important. So all these are value system. Okay, value system doesn't mean that, do not speak lies, honesty. This is not just the value system. Anything a person values is called as value system. Anything a person values is called as values. Fine, so that is called as his value system. That someone can be an individual or organization. So organization will also have values. How? For example, if you take an NGO who's working for children, so what is their value system? The future of their children is the value of NGOs. So this is what is about values. Values is not just what you think. Values changes from people to people. Unlike ethics, value keeps changing from people to people. Okay, so that is what is important thing. And one more thing related to value system is, I judge you based on my value system. For example, I am a person who always values education. You are a person who always values, for example, let's take money. There's a person who's value money. There's a person who's valuing education system. So for a person who's valuing education system, if he's seeing me, he'll think that why this girl is always spending money to get books. Why this girl is always, teaching instead of going to some other job so that she can earn, so much money. Why is this girl always sitting and studying without going for job? This kind of question will arise. For me, when I see that person, why this person is not knowing the value of education? Always money, money, money he's thinking about. This is what is value system. I will use my value system to evaluate you. I will use my value system to judge you. That is why the value system is not a standard form. It keeps changing from people to people. That is why we need ethics. We are not using value system, not using morals. We are using ethics as a standard form of measuring about people. Fine. Now do you understand how value system changes from people to people, and according to people the morality also changes. Fine. Attitude, so very important concept. Attitude is always, attitude is always uh, misunderstood. How? For example, there are two person 1, person 2. Person 1 is asking question to person 2. Person 2 is saying, I don't want to answer you. I don't want to answer you. Simple, don't go to, so much big example. Person 1 is asking simply a simple question, address. Okay. Person 1 is asking address to person 2. Person 2 is saying, I don't have time. I won't answer you. What will person 1 will think? See how much attitude this person has. Am I right or not? This is what we think. Attitude, we think attitude is something, that's not attitude actually. Attitude is a neutral term. Attitude is simply an expression of favor or disfavor. Simply you like it or you don't like it. That's called as attitude. That attitude is, different terms like positive, neutral, negative. Okay, so this is called as attitude. Positive attitude, you like something, you are favorable to it. Negative attitude, you don't have any opinion about it. Sorry, neutral attitude, you don't have any opinion about it. Negative attitude, you are unfavorable to it, or you don't like it. This is called as attitude. Okay, so sometimes the words used in English language are, misunderstood and used it in a very opposite context. Okay, so that is the thing. Attitude is a person, an expression of favor or disfavor. It can be toward a person, towards place, towards things or event. Once everything is, varying. For example, I might like some kind of food, Some person might not like the same kind of food. For example, I like apples. Then I have a positive attitude towards apple. My friend doesn't like apple. He has a negative attitude towards apple. And one more friend is there. He doesn't mind whatever fruit it is. He just eats if it offered to him. Then that person is having a neutral attitude. Simple. It's simple like that. So hereafter, do not say don't show attitude to me. Don't. This person is having so much attitude. These kind of words do not use. Now, since you have understood what does attitude really mean, I want you to start using it in your language. So language develops when you start, changing according to whatever you learn. So example here they have given a negative, see very important example I'll tell you. A negative attitude towards people of lower caste may lead to behavior of discrimination. So according to Article 15, prohibition of discrimination, and according to Article what? Can anyone tell me what is abolition of untouchability article? Article? Yes? So tomorrow morning we'll be discussing fundamental rights in our polity class, but still I'll tell you Article 17, abolition of untouchability. So these two articles, why is it actually in the constitution? What is the need of this article? Because people in our country have a negative attitude towards people of, see, this term lower caste itself is wrong. I'll tell you, this is not, this term lower caste itself is wrong. It itself is a negative attitude. Why I have placed it here in this word is to tell you that negative, that itself is a negative attitude. You should call, depressed class. Who depressed them? The other classes depressed them. They did not depress themselves, the other classes depressed them. And such attitude towards the depressed class, whom now the government is calling as scheduled caste, will lead to behavior of discrimination. Okay, so this behavior of discrimination is because of the attitude every people in mind have. People believe that there are so much bad belief system in our life. We will talk about it very clearly tomorrow in the fundamental rights class. Very important concept I am telling you. Tomorrow in future, if you want to be a better human being first and then better bureaucrat, this discrimination in your mind should go. Any type of discrimination based on the caste, based on religion, based on race, based on sex, based on purse of, place of birth, everything should change. Fine. So now we saw some concept. What is the relationship between values and beliefs? So all values are beliefs, but all beliefs are not values. Okay. So if a person is thinking that money is important, it's his belief system. Okay. And all beliefs are not values. I might think, a person will have a belief system like saying lie is wrong. But if that person is someone who's earning money, who values money, obviously what he will do? He will think it's okay to lie to earn money. Okay, so that is how this statement has come. All values are belief, but all beliefs are. So beliefs we just saw, belief systems are amendable. How belief systems are amendable? Today I am telling you that you have a belief system that God is there. You might have a belief system that God is there. Some people will come with scientific explanation that God is not there. It might change. There is a person who do not believe in God. So what happens? Something happens in his life. It can be coincidence or whatever it is. Suddenly he starts believing in God. So belief systems keep changing. It is amendable. It can be changed. Okay. So usually belief system is based on the inadequate and poor information, a vague information. So we say that in past God did that, and then you have a stories, you have videos, so you start believing in some entity, but it's you don't have a solid proof. God has not come before you, so that belief system is amendable, that can keep changing. Not just God, simple thing. Any simple belief systems can be changed if proper proof and proper information is given to you. Okay, so this is the thing. So see this, a person with almost no exposure to American society believes that all Americans are bad. So we think that they don't have family values, all these things. But what happened? Americans also do have value systems and they have family values, But how will we know that? When we go and stay in America, we start believing that, okay, they are not how we think. Okay, so this is called as belief system. Next, values are hardcore beliefs. They do not change easily. That's what I tell you. Beliefs can be changed easily. Change, but values do not change. Okay, very important. So next, ethics and values differences. Okay, ma'am, ethics is there, values is there. What is the difference between these both? Is that all ethics and morals can be regarded as values, but values cannot be regarded as ethics or morals. Why? Ethics means you have a standard. So ethics means you have a standard and you have a proof for that. You have a proof for that. You have a justification for that. Then you say that it's called as ethics. You can't say all value system as ethics. Okay, keep that in mind. Fine. Next, concepts such as material success, individualism, efficiency, thrift, freedom, courage, hard work, prudence, competition, patriotism, compromise, and punctuality are all value standards. It changes from people to people. Patriotism, one person can have patriotism, other person cannot have patriotism. You cannot call patriotism as ethics. Do you say a person who is not having patriotism is unethical? You can't call that person unethical. He is not just having patriotism, but he can be called as a person who is having ethics when he is not disturbing others and when he is not committing any crime. Okay, so this is the difference between value systems and ethics. Ethics is something called as, predefined standard, but value system changes from people to people. A person with value system can be ethical, cannot be ethical. Okay, you can't say a person with value system will always be ethical in nature, but a person with ethics will definitely have some good kind of value system. Fine. Next. Fine. And standards such as honesty, truthfulness, fairness, are used to make ethical judgments. That is why they are called as, ethics. That is called as value system. So other related terms. So these are the terms. These are bonus terms. When you use, when you are writing mains answer, I always tell you. Generally, have you ever watched this cooking videos? Have you ever watched this cooking video? They'll just do something. Even biryani you take. I like cooking. Okay, I like cooking so much. I do this, I do that, I cook everything. I'll finish. Finally, what I'll do? I'll chop coriander and I'll just put that coriander on that. That coriander is, I don't know if it will add some taste, but for looking that the coriander is very good. Okay, the same way in your paper add some kind of terms. You can actually talk about that same terms in different words, but certain terms when you are writing, it makes your answer so appealing, so your answer will look really good. Okay, it's always a psychological factor that a person who is having a very good language is believed that the person will have a very good knowledge. Okay, so that's a very bad belief system, but still that is the reality. So in that situation, when you are writing an answer, make sure that your answer is technical but not too tough to understand. So in that situation, these are certain terms which you can use in ethics, which will make your paper look more good. For that, you can't just randomly use these words. You should understand what those words are. Am I clear? Same thing. Principles. What does principles means? So we say that I have my principles. I cannot, go beyond my principles. This person is a man of principles. So what does principle means? It comprises an individual code of action. I have my own set of rules and regulation. That is called as principles. Okay, so code of action and enable a person to behave integrity is called as principles. For example, principle of transparency. Whatever I do, I'll ensure that everyone know it. Fine. So one person is asking how to connect current affairs with ethics, ma'am. See, usually prelims point of view, till now we haven't got any ethics based question, but current affairs can be used as examples when you write answers. In writing answers. Fine. How? Right to Information Act is very important for ethics, transparency. Do you understand? So this is how you have to link current affairs with the ethics. Current affairs can be used as an example. Sometimes a current affair can be asked in exam paper itself and they can ask you to write in relation with some ethical answer. Corruption based ethics. Ethics and corruptions are inseparable. Especially in terms of administrative ethics, corruption is unethical. It's a social evil. It's a general evil. So in these kind of places you can give examples from current affairs. Okay, so that is something like that. Virtue are characteristics and valued as promoting collective and individual greatness. Okay, so this is principles is related to integrity, but virtue is something a person has. It's a value system a person has in his mind, so that the person will behave great. For example, even though I don't have food, but I give my friend. So in this situation, I'm not just good, I am great. So virtue means certain things, certain things you do in your life so that you become very great. That is called as virtues. So virtues help a person accomplishing his ideals. Ideals are usually the goals where virtues provide the way to reach them. For example, I have an ideals like in future I will help poor students. Future I will help poor students. So for that I should have a virtue of giving others. Giving others. So this is called as virtue and helping poor students is called as ideals. Fine. Next. Uh, Ideals, an ideal is a principle or a value. That's why I told you it's a goal in your life to achieve. Okay, that's called as ideals. Like ideal son, we say ideal son, ideal wife, ideal civil servant. Ideal civil servant is a person who follows foundational values. Okay, so that's called as ideal civil servant. So ideal son is a person who's a very good person by heart. Now according to me I'm telling, it changes from people to people. Good person, has a good career, takes care of family. Okay, so these are the important things. Fine. Regime, it has been defined as a set of implicit or explicit principles, norms, rules, and decision-making procedures. Code of conduct, organizational ethics are often translated into concrete practical codes. So this is called as regime. The political regime of India, what is that is? Generally, a regime has strong structure of rules. Strong structure of rules is called as regime. Okay, fine. See, related to ethics. So some people are asking me, ma'am, what book should I refer to? Number one, you can use my class because my class I'm planning according to the syllabus. Number one, I will give you these PDFs. I'm sharing it in the group. Number one. Number two, you can use any books. You do not, you need not worry that, this book I should use, that book I should use. Usually, ethics, integrity, and aptitude. There is a book called as Ethics, Integrity, and Aptitude. That book is thought as ideal, for preparation for UPSC. Usually in terms of UPSC, you don't have any standard books. Most of the books have much knowledge. Choose what knowledge you want, and I am also helping you with classes. That is fine. Okay, so there is no specific book that you can use for ethics. Ethics is a combination. Like you take examples from current affairs, you take stories from different sources, you take case studies, you take information, you take classes. It's a combination. One book, one destination cannot give you everything. Okay, fine. Norms. Norms are concrete or empirical expression of values. Norms are values in action. So values system, I told you, value something is important. When you use that into action, value plus action is equal to norms. Okay, so that is called as, simply I'll tell you, usually in our Indian society we value culture more, right? We value culture more. So we have norms like, we should not, do not talk bad about language. Don't talk about language. Okay. Don't waste food. Waste food. These are all norms. Okay, simple. Okay, next. See, daily we'll be having ethics class in the afternoon, 3:30 p.m. Okay, 3:30 p.m. is the ethics class timing. Fine. And one person have asked me, ma'am, how much examples in one question? How to start with definition? See, don't worry about how much example you are giving. One example can be effective. In some places, you need two examples. For example, let's take this question. Define attitude. Or they'll be asking, what is attitude? What are the types of attitude? Explain with examples. So in that question, you need three examples: positive attitude, negative attitude, neutral attitude. So there you need three examples. There is no proper limit that you should use only one example. You should use only two examples. There is no such things like that. Okay, so do not worry about how much examples you need. So next, maxim is a principle of rule of conduct. It generally refers to a simple and memorandum rule, how you should behave. Simply, how you should behave is called as maxim. So there is a statement called as maxim that speaks louder than words. For example, some people will tell me that, ma'am, I like to clear this exam for sure. Whatever it takes, I will definitely clear this exam. But they won't just study. Some people will not say anything, but they'll just do their work. Keep moving forward. This is the difference. So maxim is the rule of conduct. For achieving something, you should do hard work. That is a maxim. Okay, so how you should behave to if you want something is called as maxim. Fine. So this is a previous year questions. Young people with ethical conduct are not willing to come forward to join active politics. Suggest steps to motivate them to come forward. It's a 2017 question. So now since we saw basics, this is a combination of all. Okay. So young people with ethical conduct means we can talk about principles. So there are people who have principles. Okay. People with principles are not coming to active politics. So how you should bring them? So then you should talk about young people. What is the use of young people coming to politics? First, you should start with use of positives of young people to politics. Then what you are doing is, second thing is, you'll be talking about suggest steps to motivate them to come forward. You can talk about in schools, they should be encouraged. Leadership qualities should be developed. Who will come to politics when they have compassion? So these kind of answers can be written. Fine. Next, state three basic values universal in nature in the context of civil services. Bring out their importance. See, I told you values. Values mean something valued. So what will be valued by by a civil servant? Integrity. First and foremost thing in civil service is integrity. So what is integrity? You have to write answer, give an example. They are using three basic values. Fine. Next, accountability. Accountability is simply, in simple terms, no, uh, follow law. Okay. Third is compassion. There are many value systems for civil servants, but integrity, accountability, and compassion is the basic three value system every civil servant should have. If they are not honest, if they are not accountable, if they are not compassionate in nature, they will not be called as a universal. No, universally it is accepted. Yes. Transparency also you can write. That's what I'm telling you. They are asking three basic values. So you can write transparency also, no issues. But when you are accountable in nature, you obviously will become transparent in nature also. Okay, so it's not like they just ask three basic values and you have to write about them and write their importance and give examples. Okay, there is nothing wrong in writing others. What do each of the following quotations mean to you? An unexamined life is not worth living. What is this unexamined life not worth living is? This is by Socrates. So Socrates is saying that unexamined life means one who is not trying to know, one who is not trying to learn. One who is not trying to question is not worth living. That is what Socrates is saying. Mahatma Gandhi, a man is a product of his thoughts. So here thoughts, you can talk about virtues, you can talk about principles, values, everything. Okay. What he thinks, he becomes. This is by Mahatma Gandhi in 2019. Okay. So this is how UPSC question, old UPSC question will be. Do not worry, it is easy. Provided with you have a proper understanding of all the question, you can answer this question very well. Okay. So one day what I'll be doing is I'll be finishing some classes and we'll just discuss on UPSC old questions. You're always welcome. So thank you so much. This is about the basic understanding of this class. Do you have any doubts, friends? If you have any doubt, please do ask me. I'm very happy to help you. Okay, I like people who ask more doubts and I like people who are more interactive in nature. Okay, yes, any doubts?